Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining me today. I just pressed the go live button, so I'm going to check my Facebook here to make sure that awesome, I can hear myself. Again, my name is Cassandra, aka the Prosperous Heart from www.prosperousheart.com. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have no idea, just before I get started to share this review of what would the Rockefellers do, I just got to say that for those of you that may not know, hey Brandon, thank you so much for joining. For those of you that may not know, I have a full-time day job as a programmer. I have a business for online marketing, social media, and Facebook ads, and I'm on a mission to empower at least 10 people to become debt-free by 2020. And so I've got a lot to do this year, and one of those ways that I've decided to do that is to make tech things easy. But here's the thing, even if you can make tech things easy for people, you will still have technical issues. For example, somehow my headset, which I swear I brought home, can't find. And then when I finally get on to try and do this video for you today, I can't get the mic to work. After about, at this point, half an hour of trying to make it work, I was this close to saying, you know what? I don't care. I'm just going to use my phone. I'll make it happen, right? Because when you're dedicated to something, when you make a decision, you decide to cut away from every other opportunity in order to accomplish that goal. So I was just going to say, I'll find another way, and then it eventually worked. So yay! All right, so let's go ahead and get started on this review. So, what would the Rockefellers do? This is a book that I actually saw in my newsfeed as an ad, and I decided to purchase this because first of all, the Rockefellers, if you're not sure who they are a very extremely wealthy family. They originally got most of their wealth, I believe, in the oil industry. Hey, Derek, thanks so much for joining. And it was the Rockefellers and I believe the Vanderbilts. I might be wrong. It's another very well-known family that really doesn't matter who it is, to be honest. Yeah, Vanderbilts. So the Vanderbilts and the Rockefellers. So these two families hit it big in the oil industry when it first came about, right? And the difference between the Rockefellers and the Vanderbilts is the Vanderbilts, within just a couple of generations, completely lost all their fortune. And they are nowhere near what the Rockefellers are today. And that's because the Rockefellers kept it in the family. That's the biggest reason that happened. And not only did they keep it in the family, but they also taught their family how to use their money so that they not only were able to keep the money in the family, but also grow it without having to do what most people do in order to try and make that type of money. So this book, one of the reasons why I'm actually really excited to share this is that I read some of the reviews about this online, and I completely disagree with every one that I've read about this that was negative. So thanks, Derek. Yes, thank you. Definitely very interesting. So I disagree with most of the reviews about this book, because most of them are like, oh, he's just trying to sell his stuff, and he's just this, that, and the other. And I didn't get that feeling from this. Like, he may have mentioned his company a few times in this book. It's like a couple hundred pages, almost 200 pages, and he mentioned it a few times. Oh well, most of this in here is strictly information to help you be able to basically create your own bank. That's pretty crazy, right? So what exactly is this talking about? I'm not a licensed financial advisor. Please take what I'm telling you with a grain of salt. Get this book for yourself. Check it out. Yes, Derek, real generational wealth. Exactly. You have to determine how to create real generational wealth if you want to actually leave your family with a legacy. So this book, again, like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. Please speak with one before investing with what I'm telling you today. But the concept in this book, and it is one concept really, the concept in this book is something that I heard about not quite 10 years ago, maybe 5. And I'm actually kicking myself now that I've read this book, because this is a concept I should have jumped in on when I heard about it. But long story short, I just didn't feel like I could do it at the time. Hey Muhammad, thank you so much for joining. So, what would the Rockefellers do? This whole book is basically talking about something called cash flow insurance. So what is cash flow insurance? Think of it this way. When you go to a bank and you want to get a loan, maybe it's for a house, maybe it's for a car, whatever it is, maybe it's a personal loan, right? You go to the bank, you sign away however much it is to get that amount, right? And then you start paying back on it plus interest. So you pay on the principal and on the interest to pay back the bank. Well, what if you had a system or some way to be able to borrow from yourself and pay yourself back with that interest? Think about that for a minute. Think about all the fees, all the interest that you pay when you're paying stuff back. Think about all that stuff that you pay to other people, banks, loan companies, perhaps even your 401k, right? All of that stuff is money that you could be putting back into your own pocket per se and leveraging that for future use, because that's something that you can use over and over and over and over again, right? And the money that you put in there is money that you can use later on. So I'm not a financial advisor. I'm simply telling you what's possible. And this is possible with something called, I think, whole life insurance. Basically what it is there's two types of insurance that I'm aware of. And again, I'm not a licensed financial advisor. Please speak with one if you want all the information. But there's term life insurance and whole life insurance. There's probably some other stuff. But term life insurance is where you pay usually a very small amount for a short period of time, maybe like 10 years or 20 years or whatever. And you're basically playing the raffle when you do that. Because when you do that, while you may be paying less up front and that's money you could be investing elsewhere, potentially, the problem with that is that when that term is up, unless you're able to roll it into a whole life insurance, it's over. And most of the time, your premiums and everything are lost. You have no ability to use it again. You have no ability to keep growing your wealth. And not only that, but if you try to get another term, it's usually much higher. With a whole life insurance, my understanding of a whole life insurance is that you pay a premium and it's the same premium for life until you cancel your whatever and blah, blah, blah. So some people say, oh, you don't want to do that because it's so expensive. Well, here's the thing. Again, my understanding of what I read here and what I've been told about this before is that money, when you put it into this account, because what it is it's an insurance policy, right? You take an insurance policy, let's say it's $1 million, whatever it is, however much it is. You are able to borrow against that. So even if you didn't pay it back, that's still money that would come out of your death benefit, right? So why not use your death benefit now when you're alive, when you're able to use it to actually make additional investments? Not only that, but when you have a whole life insurance policy in this type of manner, the cash flow insurance type of manner, your money is actually making money for you. It's like putting it in a CD account. It's like putting it in a savings account, but you are going to, if memory serves, and depending on where you get your whole life insurance from, it gives you, I think, a 3% interest guaranteed. So even if you just let it sit there and you kept adding to it and adding, I think it's called cash value. So the more money you put into it, that's more cash value you have to use with that policy. So you have the ability to reuse that to take loans for yourself without having to pay a bank for it and waste your money, right? Because you're investing it back into yourself. So that's the biggest thing that I got from this, is a better understanding of how cash flow insurance works and why it's so important that you should really check that out. Not necessarily the book, but talk with a licensed financial advisor, talk with a licensed insurance agent about cash flow insurance. Again, it's called, I think, a whole life policy, whole life insurance. But it is incredible. It is how the Rockefellers were able to keep and grow their wealth. Again, most people will hear this and just completely turn themselves off because they don't understand it. I promise you, you need to understand this and speak with someone about it so that you can get in on this for you and your family, because this is something that you literally can leave your family as a legacy, teach them how to manage money and grow it as well. So again, my name is Cassandra, aka the Prosperous Heart. This was my review of what would the Rockefellers do. A lot of it was repetition. I am going to let you know that. I can't tell you how many times I read the same thing and just had to skim over it. But there's a lot of great information in here. There's a lot of information that will help to open your eyes to how money can work for you. as well as a few other things as well. And again, he does talk about his business, and you don't have to use them for this, but there is that option. So thanks so much for watching. My name is Cassandra, and like I said, I'm on a mission to empower at least 10 people this to become debt free this year. If that's something you want to learn more about, if you want to learn how to create more wealth without having to be a salesperson, send me a message, or leave a comment down below, and I'll be sure to reach out to you. So thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful and prosperous rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.